Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, just told Mil she needs to find a hotel. I washed dishes today. JustNoMil wants to see my 6-month-old without me there because she doesn't like me. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Just told Mil she needs to find a hotel. My Mil texted me that her vacation is September 30th to October 9th. Thank God it's a 2-day drive each way. She also said she will let my wife know. Except she can't. We changed my wife's number and will not be giving it to her. I called my wife and told her. I also stated there is nowhere to sleep in our home. She agreed. I said I was going to text about hotels. She said okay. Mil has not responded. But grandma-in-law said we can't do that. I posted last week about how she is staying with us. I have spoken with my wife and we have spoken with grandma. However, grandma thinks her daughter is entitled to be in our lives. I stayed calm, my son even stayed in the room. I told grandma that her daughter chose to be elsewhere when my wife was all alone. Her daughter chose to only come back after the father of her children got a settlement from an accident that paralyzed him. Grandma then started talking about all the abuse Mil's husbands have put her through. I said it's sad that Mil chooses bad relationships, but it doesn't mean she is entitled to the life we have built despite the hardship her absence caused. I also said I'm not going to tolerate her when she accuses my wife of being just like her dad. I asked grandma for any instance of my wife harming her mother. I reminded grandma again that we have no contact with my mother and she and her daughter can try it on for size if they push it. I can't wait for the next interaction with Mil. I have full permission to be blunt and I'm running with it. You're my hero. Can we buy y'all a drink? Best decision ever, we converted the guest room to my studio. Sorry, no room. Once grandma leaves, the spare room will become my drag room. I don't perform for anyone but myself. Oh, by the way, I'm kinda witchy too, so as soon as she arrives, I'm going to turn all the brooms in the house upside down. I have about 3 dozen brooms, ranging from 3 inches to standard height. Mil likes to go after the church-going men because they don't drink their money. When Mil first called after we bought our home, she had the balls to ask what color I was painting her room. If she asks again, I will tell her I'll gladly paint it with your blood. I have a mental illness. I refuse to be content with the only perk of it being a pharmacy punch card. The problem with people like grandma-in-law is they are enablers, so just be careful because if Mil shows up, despite 2 days drive away, she might let her into your house without your consent and knowledge. They're like, oh, what is done and you can't do anything about it now, and if you make Mil go away you are the bad guy and she can play the victim. Buy a security camera like Ring so you can see what's going on real time and take action immediately. If this happens, I am taking my pistol in hand and telling them both to leave. If you don't like the way we do things in our home, you're free to leave. Mil needs to learn that she doesn't run the house or make decisions for your family. Your shiny spine is gorgeous and, as an added perk, is the perfect accessory for any outfit. Enjoy your peace and I hope you get your drag room soon. But grandma-in-law said we can't do that. Mil, you respect that is our home and you are merely a guest. If you continue to insert yourself into situations that you have no place, commenting on you will be asked to make other living arrangements. Perfect. Except, not asked, told. Love this. The silence says it all. I bet she is seething, and probably ranting about you to other family members as we speak. I know from your other post that Mil is staying with you until October, so be prepared for Mil to potentially change her dates for after Mil leaves, so there will be somewhere for her to stay in your home. Either way, you've told her it's a hotel, so hotel as it shall be, smiley face. Yes, very good point. I told my wife we can have some nice meals with her mom and stepdad. I have no problem with stepdad. In fact, I know he told his wife recently that she better change her attitude. They have been living in separate states for a few years, so I'm rooting for his freedom. But as far as them being in town, there will be a very clear timetable for how long they can visit because I'm getting a few hours of downtime before and after each day. Your stand up for your family. Good father and husband. People know how toxic a person is and will say you need to get along. They want you to take one for the team so they can be rid of the hafa. Again, I'm blushing. I was born female, but am something more masculine these days. And as far as taking one for the team, I was the one kid in the family who was always to blame. I will chew through my own limbs to get away from that bullshit. Good for you. Be sure to have a camera doorbell up so she doesn't show up uninvited and you open the door. I don't have the cameras up in the new place yet, but I actually have cameras throughout my home due to a health issue. Mael doesn't know it. Grandma then started talking about all the abuse Mael's husbands have put her through. Answer: not my problem. Sounds like your daughter has an issue in choosing men. Again, not my problem. I washed dishes today. If you've read my previous posts, you would know I have severe issues with cleaning, especially dishes. If dishes weren't to my mother's standards, I would have to do them 3-4 times over and over. Because of her, cleaning has always been extremely difficult. It makes me shaky, temperamental, nauseous, and panicky. Sometimes I hear her voice yelling at me that I'm not doing something right. I have a very understanding and roommate who have taken over most of the chores in the house. Almost a year ago, I washed my first dish in 7 years. My love for my MIL's thoughtful gift of a high-end blender, I wanted one out over the panic and I got it clean. Took me until 3 a.m. to do it, but I did it. A couple weeks ago, my so gently brought up me trying to help out a little more with chores. I've been trying, but most of the messes I've been able to get myself to clean are pet-related. Small things. Today was my day off, so I did the litter boxes, and as I looked at the sink I saw 3 plates, 2 cups, a Tupperware bottom, 3 lids, no I don't know either, a rubber dog can lid, and my cooling rack. I just took a deep breath, and looked at the barely half-full sink, arguing with myself. I was able to swallow down the panic, and I washed the dishes. I almost threw up twice, but I did it. I know it seems ridiculous and overdramatic, but that's literally how hard cleaning is for me. Especially washing dishes. But I did it. I did it for him. I did it for me. For the first time in 8 years, I washed a sink of dishes. And I didn't hear her yelling at me. Congratulations. That's a huge step and you should be proud of yourself. I don't know if it'd help at all, but have you tried tackling the dishes together? So washes, you dry and put away, then maybe down the line when you're comfortable you switch. Make it a couple thing, spend time together, talk about things you both like, you might not even realize you're doing the dishes. We have a few times. If the dish rack is overfilled, he's asked me to dry and put some away. I tend to rush through it so fast and then bolt off when he says he doesn't need my help anymore. That's probably not a healthy response. Congratulations. It'll get easier, someday you'll be able to breeze through without batting an eye. My dad used to stand next to us and put the dishes back in the soapy water if we had missed any dirt. It wasn't as traumatizing as what you went through by any means, but anytime someone stands to my right when I'm washing dishes, I have to tell them they need to stand somewhere else. If they don't, I want to stab them with a fork. Instead, I just walk away. Don't frame it as I wash dishes, frame it as I managed to overcome a massively triggering anxiety-inducing task. Be proud of yourself, this is huge. Well done, OP. Start small, mate, and move on up. This is great. It helps you and helps your so. Clearly he is a keeper and isn't that troubled by it all, but it's good that you can help do this little part of the household chores even if not all the time. I'm worried he's starting to be, and I don't want to keep putting everything on him, which is why I'm trying more. He put up with it for 8 years, I don't want him to have to put up with 8 more. Congrats, you've just found her mute button. Next up is give her an eviction notice for your head. Baby steps is the way to go, 1 or 2 little things at a time, it'll get easier. That's what I saw this as. It wasn't a full sink, just a few things, so I thought I could do it quick enough to push through. I hate that I'm crying afterwards though. I hate that I'm staring at the clock waiting for my son to come home from work so he can see it. I want him to praise me over something so tiny, and I feel ridiculous over it. Sounds like you didn't get a chance to be much of a kid either. Have you tried turning cleaning into playtime? I like to pretend I'm a witch, like the dish soap is a magic potion element and you need water and an abrasive element to transform the trash, dirty dish, to treasure. Sparkling porcelain out whatever your dishes are made of. That last line made the tears that had been gathering fall. It's not ridiculous or overdramatic. Sounds like this was a massively huge win, and, even though I'm an internet stranger, I am so proud of you. That bit about hating that you're crying? Stop that. This was a huge accomplishment and you are entitled to feel all the feels that come with it. Next time you do it, you're gonna feel the feels as well, but it won't be as bad because you managed it this time. You beat her voice back into the black hole it belongs for just a little bit. You can do it again. You should be so very, very proud. I do know how hard it is to minimize ourselves, but not this time. Maximize. 1 small sink of dishes, 1 giant leap for you. You rock. Yeah, I have a bad problem with minimizing a lot of what I do, thank you. This is the best thing I've read all day. Way to go. I think that's a huge accomplishment. Doing the dishes but not having her in your head is the best part. Your mom was wrong. Her voice in your head is wrong. If you want /need cleaning tips, TikTok has been helpful for me. Highly recommend domestic blisters for gentle pep talks. JustNoMil wants to see my 6-month-old without me there because she doesn't like me. Long story short, my JustNoMil does not like me. Every time my partner sees her on his own, or if she was here and I left the room, she would say something bad about me. I asked my partner to stop telling me what she was saying because it started affecting my mental health. I have tried talking to her and I asked her to stop doing this, and she denied everything she said. She said it's all in my head and I'm an overthinker. My partner said he feels like Piggy in the middle. My JustNoMil used to come round weekly to spend time with my baby and me, but she would tell my partner things like she didn't get to cuddle my baby on her last visit, I was cluster feeding, and so on. I started noticing the day before her visit my anxiety would be sky high, the day of her visit I would feel like I was treading on eggshells, and the day after I had no energy and felt tearful. Therefore, I told her from now on she can arrange all access with my baby's father, as I no longer feel comfortable ruining 3 days of my week because of her bad mouthing, when I have done nothing but be accommodating. For context, I didn't see her in my pregnancy. She was not happy I was pregnant. She phoned my mother when I was pregnant and said she didn't like me and wished we would split up. She only took interest in my baby in my 3rd trimester, and she would only talk to me when my baby was asleep and ignore me when he is awake. She didn't listen to any of my boundaries, would wake him up when sleeping because she wanted cuddles, ignored me if I spoke, and so on. She has done so much over the past year that has really affected our relationship. She has now refused to talk to me or be around me and told my partner she feels like she doesn't get any access to her grandchild and wants to see more of him. My partner came home this evening and said he is going to take our baby to his mother's once a week and to his sister's once a week, and I am not allowed to come because they feel awkward and uncomfortable around me. I think they only feel this way because I asked them both to stop talking about me behind my back and to respect my wishes as a mother. My JustNoMil and Sil are what feels like bullying me. I have no idea if I have any rights, UK, but I feel really horrible about not being allowed to see my baby for 2 days a week. I have told my partner I do not accept this and they can come here where we can all go for walks, but I do not want to be away from my baby, especially when they will be badmouthing me in front of him. I don't want him growing up around this behavior. Am I overreacting? My partner says I have no right to tell him he can't take our baby out without me there, but he is able to do this. I just feel under the circumstances it's unfair and I feel pushed out. This dislike stemmed from me telling my midwife my partner was aggressive to me in pregnancy and he was safeguarded. My JustNoMil was furious and said I could ruin his career, but at the time I was really struggling, getting shouted at and sworn at every day. I feel I am in a toxic relationship, but I can't leave because I would be in the same predicament. I'm so sorry for any typos in format. I'm on my phone. Update: I've read as many comments as I can. Thank you so much for all the comments. It has opened my eyes and I do feel heartbroken, but I remember saying to my midwife when I was pregnant that my son comes first and if I ever have to leave I will. I have to stick by my words. I'm taking all the advice and comments on board and I will read the rest when everyone is asleep tonight. On Monday, I will call the numbers you shared. I've applied for housing, and I will look into what benefits I could receive. But I won't tell him any of this. He has actually phoned his mother and sister this morning and told them I will be coming along on the 2 days. He's told me I have to have a conversation with them and fix it. He doesn't see how I have already tried, and I voice recorded the whole thing so I have evidence of what's happening. I didn't mention before, because of the stigma, but I do have a mental health condition, so I do have a really amazing support worker who is aware of every single thing that's happened since my son has been born. They actually want to discharge me from the mental health team because I am doing so well, and they said my anxiety is situational and gets worse after this sort of thing happens. So at least I have records of that too. I waited a long time to have children. He was a lovely man and I don't recognize him anymore. I don't recognize myself anymore either, and I am tired of not being allowed a voice and having my mental health condition used against me. I will update again on Monday. Thank you all. OP, your partner is not in the middle, he is weak. His number one priority is you and baby. His family comes second. I'm sorry, but your partner is the arsehole here and is allowing his family to bully you. Serious therapy is needed here. He's not in the middle, he's firmly on his mother's side. His number one priority should be OP and baby, but it's not. He puts his family of origin first, his wife and child second. This man is all kinds of messed up. You know, normally I am the devil's advocate for SOs that have been groomed to be enmeshed. I understand the effects that growing up in emotional manipulation and abuse can have and how hard it is to break away from those learned behaviors. Not this time. He is not stuck in the middle, he's playing for the other team. Hells no, honey. This is not a red flag, this is a parade. You are in the UK. I understand that living single isn't ideally, yes, you will face struggles. But if you look at it from the bright side, you are one of the few women in this world who are in a country where you can divorce, where you can live in peace as a divorced woman, and where you will get some sort of governmental aid and protection from the law. This sounds normal to us, Europeans, but it is not. Do not focus on the struggles you will have when you leave, because you already have struggles. You aren't leaving a great home, you are leaving a toxic environment. Please reach out to your health visitor. They'll be hooked into the midwife team you initially reported to, your GP, and the various support services available to you. Your partner has a previous record of abuse against you and his family are now involved in verbally abusing you, and I'd say parental alienation. Your health visitor team can help you take the appropriate steps to protect yourself and baby. You are not crazy or overreacting. These people are all horrible and abusing you. Your partner is not piggy in the middle, he's jerk on the side. He should have your back, but he won't stand up to his mom. The abuse, it was abuse, during pregnancy is a huge red flag. Consider very carefully if you want to feel like you're bullied by his family and dismissed by him for the rest of your life. This is abuse. Talk to your GP and health visitor. Your husband can't just take the baby with him alone, because his family doesn't like you. My MIL tried that. I will only see the son and my grandchild, and now she sees no one. Literally no one in 15 plus years. And it's been awesome not to have to deal with her materialistic and uppity personality. Woman grew up in the same town I did, was poor as sh*t growing up, but because I didn't come from or with money, I would have never been good enough. No, it is she who is not good enough to be around someone as down to earth as me. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.